Sean Meyer coming to you from the Nova Scotia Federation of Municipalities Conference here in Halifax. I'm the digital content editor at Municipal World, and I'm happy to be here with our next guest in our podcast series here at the conference. I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Nancy Dix. I'm the new present mayor of New Glasgow.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Why are you thinking, you know what, I want to come to this conference? I know I'm busy, but this is worth coming to.
It's never looked upon as I'm too busy to attend. It's sort of something that I see as very, very important in our role.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been coming to these for many years, and never once have I left without learning something of great value. So I really think, you look at an agenda before you attend the conference, and there's things that pique your interest. I've never found that there hasn't been a relevant topic that you sort of grab onto throughout the conference. And we've only been here, a day and a little bit now, and already incredible topics and very important for all municipalities to be involved in.
It was probably invaluable to have those conversations with colleagues in like-minded communities or dealing with the same problems, and just, hey, how did you deal with this?
Absolutely. Not just the content of the conference, but certainly the ability to interact with people from all over your province in this case. And, there's not a lot of times we get to see each other, and it would be only at conferences like this. So always valuable conversations, and it's a great opportunity.
You are the mayor, so you know the pressures that come with that job. And you also understand local government is a great place and maybe not the easiest place to be in these days.
Right.
What are your feelings on the state of local government today?
Well, over the years, the one word that comes to my mind is increased challenges. It was pretty easy to identify the role of municipal government and, what we were responsible for. I would say I noticed the big difference. This is my 12th year in, and I noticed the difference, a real big difference 4 years ago.
Anything big happened?
I don't know what on earth it was that happened 4 years ago, but something happened. Of course, we know what happened. And
COVID's a thing.
Yeah, and I really saw that as a change. Like it changed people's attitude. It changed people's almost resilience in some ways. It changed how people sort of, people question things a little bit more after that. Like, there was never a sense of, the sense of trust changed, I found, in those 4 years. So, more challenging now than it was previous.
Those challenges also include things that once upon a time a municipality never had to deal with.
Absolutely.
Even your career, which is very fulsome at this point, but you're not so old that you can remember a time when housing wasn't on the agenda, and mental health, and all these things that, that's a Halifax problem or a Toronto problem.
Oh, yes.
But it's not. It's everybody's problem. So how are you dealing with those sorts of big questions?
Well, there's, again, one of the biggest challenges is dealing with these, like you say, like concerns that were sort of big city concerns, and they're certainly not that anymore. They're in a lot of our communities, and we in Glasgow, we're a town within Pictou County, and we are the service center. So that is, in fact, we have a homeless shelter in the center of town, and so we see very, very on a day-to-day basis the impact of that on a community. And as difficult as it is to address, we realize very quickly that it can't be addressed in one order of government alone. It's all of us that have to work together. And I often feel, we've been dealing with this probably the last 3 to 4 years on a very serious and significant level. We don't seem to have found that magic bullet, I guess, that is going to make the change.
You and anyone else.
No, it's getting worse. And, I often think are we in a situation where, we can't keep on doing the same thing over and over and over and expect it to get better if it's not by this point. So I think, and I'm very hopeful that there will be an opportunity for people to think outside of the box and how we can get through this really difficult time and help those that are suffering the most.
Certainly, you're the mayor, which means you're the same as your council, but we all know everybody thinks the mayor is there to fix everything.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
How do you deal with, whether it's something like homelessness or something like, I don't know, somebody runs into you at the grocery store and says, my taxes are too high.
Mm-hmm.
How do you deal with those conversations?
Well, I don't think you back away from them. I think you welcome the opportunity to have a conversation. That's sort of how I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think because in your role, you have an opportunity to be far more educated than maybe somebody that's not involved in this. So we actually spend a great deal of time understanding and learning about, for example, coming to a conference like this,
Sure.
you do learn a lot. And we have staff that we rely heavily on to provide us with information that's important. So I think you have to be confident in understanding what's going on in your role and why things are like they are. And also be clear that, things actually can't happen overnight. That's not the way it works.
Yeah.
And we're trying to do what's best, but there's a process that has to be followed.
Most people they struggle, let's face it, between what's a federal, provincial, municipal responsibility.
Absolutely.
They just assume that whatever their problem is, the mayor's going to fix it.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of interesting to say that, the fact that we've had a municipal and a provincial election back to back.
Yeah.
And, I think it just made it more confusing. Like people just don't know what they're voting or why they're voting for a particular, but that's okay.
That's another issue that somebody else can figure out.
Exactly, yeah.
Certainly, the mayor is at the center of the community. Another thing that some people would say at the center of the community is culture. That culture is often reflected in library services.
Yes.
And I understand that that's of particular importance to your community.
Really important. Actually, we just approved the recommendation to move forward with, which for us is a very significant project to the tune of about $14 million. Wow. We've received funding from both federal and provincial counterparts. So that's really important. And there is, of course, the responsibility of our local municipality to contribute to the funding of this project. Mm-hmm. So we're very, very invested and very, very excited about this coming to a point where we could actually see things happening. So this is a project that we've been working on for 8 years, I would say, at least. We've had some feasibility studies done, some architecture plans put in place and things. And that thing that happened 4 years ago, like I say, that sort of slowed things down a little bit. Cost changed. It went from a project of, I think it was about $8 million to a $14 million project. So things have to, you have to take time to get, things in place. Yep. But this project is really significant to our community and the communities that surround us. So, as our chief librarian keeps saying to us, a library isn't a library like it was 25, 30 years ago. Our library is a center for so many. We have our seniors, our 50 plus group that are going to be part of this renovation. Nice. We have a multicultural association that functions out of there. We have the Maple app that's available through our library staff that help you through that. Sure. So health services, multiculturalism, seniors, and of course the core services of the library. So it's a very important project for Glasgow.
Because libraries have always been at the heart of the community.
That's right.
This is a different age, so
we have to look at libraries differently. I was a teacher previously, and we always had the sign over the library door, the heart of our school. And in fact, the library in our community is the heart of our community. And they've had more responsibilities put on them. I often think of the people that work at the library. They have to keep on upping their skill set all the time to be there to assist the many times people go to the library to seek out information. So
sure.
Very important.
It was important enough that you would spend the kind of money that you're spending on it. You could have chosen, we'll invest that somewhere else. I'm going to guess it wasn't just a council decision. It was the community that was telling you that this is an important thing for us.
Right. Well, it probably started with the chief librarian through the library that understands the age of the infrastructure and the
I'm guessing
changes
it wasn't
that
the new building.
no. So, and the thing is, they're there on a daily basis, and so the recommendation comes from them to staff and from staff to council. So
Sure.
we do own the building. That is our responsibility to look at that and what its needs are. And I'm not sure of the age of this in particular, but it's old.
Sure.
We've had an upgrade to it a number of years ago, but there is a lifespan of these buildings.
Oh, absolutely.
So and the thing is, you don't wait till it's ready to, till you have to shut it down before you do something. So this is our hope.
Well, sounds like it's a good message for your community that we're investing in the culture of our community, the heart of our community. So that's a message I think many communities can take heart from.
Right.
So thank you so much, Mayor, for your time. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Always.